Okay, so up next is the Islamic Empire and the golden age of the Islamic Empire. And we will take a look at kind of how they come to power and, um, the height of it, and also kind of what exactly are their important achievements. And the do now question is related to this topic because while West Africa will kind of be best known for its accumulation of great wealth, the Islamic Empire will be known for its cultural achievements more so. So let's see what we got. All right, I'll give you a minute here. All right, so a couple of things that we need to understand in order to begin with. When we talk about Islam and the spread of Islam, we covered a lot of this when we talked about religions and belief systems. But Islam is an interesting case because it's not only a religion, but as Islam begins to bloom and kind of really take hold in the Middle East, it is also its own political entity. Okay. Islam becomes its own political empire, for lack of a better term. So usually we talk about religion with regard to social development and religion as being kind of a social aspect of life. In this particular case, Islam is a political entity also, in addition to a social institution. So that's an important thing to understand. So when we talk about the Islamic Empire, we talk about the political aspect of the Islamic religion, kind of, and the unity of all of followers of Islam across, the Middle East and into other parts of the world too. So, long story short, we talked about Muhammad being the prophet of Islam. We talked about his comings and goings from Mecca and Medina, and you guys went all over, the nuts and bolts of the religious aspects of it. But long story short, in about 130 years, um, the Islamic Empire expands from just the Arabian Peninsula, which is what you see shaded on the globe here on this slide, to cover vast parts of the Middle East, North Africa, and even into Spain and parts of southern Europe. Space-wise, it's twice as large as the Roman Empire with regard to landmass. And basically, what they're doing is Islam unites the various Arab tribes with a common religion and language. So, Arab being an ethnicity are people of the Arabian Peninsula. So the Islam tries to basically unite all of those people into one unified group. That's the vision. So when we talk about space wise, the land mass of each of these, you can see Islamic Empire on the left, Roman Empire on the right. It looks comparable, but the thing that we lose sight of is scale. Okay, like if you look at the Italian Peninsula on the left, it's pretty small. And if you look at the Italian Peninsula on the right, it's pretty large. So in this particular comparison, it gives you the illusion that the Roman Empire is probably bigger. But in reality, because of the size of the scale, you could see that we're talking about everything from Spain and parts of France all the way towards the Middle East and pushing up on India. So you can kind of see the way that's working. The Roman Empire ends here. Okay, you could see if you could compare the maps, you can see how much further this extends. So with regard to landmass, it's really incredibly huge. Even today, there are significant Muslim populations in southern Spain, especially, and northern Africa also. All right, this shouldn't take you very long. So when we talked about the Kingdom of Mali in West Africa, and we talked about Mansa Musa adopting Islam, we said that with the adoption of Islam, the adoption of Islam is typically accompanied by a sharp increase in education. And the Islamic Empire, as we study it kind of as its own standalone kind of political entity, is the same deal. Okay. The achievements that are going to be most commonly associated with the Islamic Empire is all brain power stuff. Okay. It's all advances in math, physics, astronomy, biology, a lot of philosophy, a lot of the sciences and stuff like that. They are incredible philosophers, and a lot of like it's philosophy and the sciences are really kind of the things that they're most well known for. But it's important to understand that we're associating this, we're seeing this kind of pattern develop where when Islam is adopted and when and where Islam is followed, education is sure to follow. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. So these subjects, math, physics, astronomy, bio, philosophy, these are all of the most significant achievements that we will typically associate with the Islamic Empire. So when we talk about economic achievement versus cultural achievement, these guys, while certainly will become very wealthy, and geographic expansion certainly is a factor also, but their biggest impact and their legacy really is these advances in a lot of the intellectual kind of sectors. That's really what they're most well known for, more so than the other things, even though there are some other aspects also.